Hey chat, I'm Peyton Smith, your social media producer, and I'm here with Mark Seifter, one of the designers for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing all right, Peyton. How about you?
I'm good.
Having a good day?
I'm sorry, you caught me off guard.
Oh no, you were like,
No.
oh no, he'll never ask me the same question.
It was in case like you gave me a very frontal face of going, I'm doing very well. I'm sorry, that caught me way off guard. But
This show is gonna be all about me catching Peyton off guard
Yep.
because we're gonna catch him off guard with how awesome the options are from Lost Omen character
right.
guide.
So you know I'm actually tearing up. That got me way too much. So what we're here to do today is that we're gonna go through the Lost Omens World Guide, and we also have the Lost Omens Character Guide, which I don't think a lot of people have really seen this yet, have they? I don't think we've done too much about it.
We've done a fair number of previews, but they don't have the book yet.
Yeah.
So we have the whole book.
So
And
you want to show up the book for them to see
Yes.
that we're not lying
This
to
is
them?
this is the printer proof. Like, thanks to Eleanor and Louise giving me one of these. This is
Yeah.
like the soonest I had this a while ago. It's the soonest I've ever had a book compared to when it actually came out.
And one of the things I wanted to do is to make characters with you guys. Now, because of the nature of this, which you see that we have my little computer here and everything, and it's a touchscreen. We're actually going to show this on screen, everything soon. But one of the things I want to have fun with this is that I'm also going to tie this thing into a giveaway. Because of how finicky this thing has been for me all day, I want to do a little challenge today. That every single time this thing gives me trouble with the feed and everything else, I want to take a Fumbus coin, up to 6 of them. I want to take a Fumbus coin, I'm going to put it in this glass. Every single time we have an issue, you guys get an additional Fumbus coin. Now, all this is going to go to one person because it's just on how the nature of the giveaways and stuff like that is. But whenever we get to the end of the stream, I'll open up the giveaway and how many coins are in here and how many mishaps we have, you get to have.
Okay.
So,
Well, thank Nivi Rumbodazzle you put an upper limit on it, because when you described it to me, you hadn't, and I was like, how many
was
are we
like,
going to give
how
out
many
if
are we
this
gonna
thing
go?
breaks?
I made sure to put a limit because we only have so many. So, and also
6 is like a significant percentage of all the remaining ones.
And also, I want to thank one of our customer service fellows who was not in the office today, so we noiced his class. In which I'll apologize to him. If anything goes wrong with it, I'll buy him a new one if need be.
So it's less of a thanking for actually
Yeah,
being allowed, and more
thanks
of
for
a,
not
and
being here. So
don't ask for permission, just ask for forgiveness.
Exactly.
On air. So please forgive us.
yeah, just don't yell at me later. Just punch me in the face later. But to continue on what we're basically kind of established here today is that as we have this work on, Mark's going to help me make some characters, and you guys actually get to vote for it. We're going to go through all the ancestry, some of the backgrounds, the archetypes and stuff that are inside of these books, and basically make a character out of it. And what along with that's going to happen is that we're going to take the PDF that we made of us writing down everything else on our computer here, and we're going to put them up online. So you actually get to play these ancestries a little bit early, and we're going to put them alongside, I believe I asked if it was all right to put them with the demo blog that we have.
Okay.
So the demo that just came out for Paizo that has the demo of the Pathfinder 2nd Edition, so you can kind of introduce your players to it. We're going to have a 1st level version of this, and then a 5th level version of this, and also a 6th level version in case there's some 6th level feats we really want you to try. And
Right.
I want to see if I can manually
Yeah.
do it for level
We'll
1,
either
2,
do
3,
5
4.
we could
Yeah.
probably either do 5 or 6 depending on what
Yeah.
choices you guys pick, because
Yeah.
5's one that we both like as a
Yeah.
level, but if it's like, oh, but look at what we would have
Yeah,
gotten at
like
6, then we might do 6.
There's a couple of them that he was showing me that was like really, really cool at level 6. I'm like, we can't deny
So
them
you
that,
get a
know?
binary choice of 2 really cool branches
Yeah.
to join at level 6. It's like, which one will we join? Well, that's interesting, but we don't get to pick until
Yeah.
level 6.
So if you have your Lost Omens World Guide, be sure to crack that out and everything else if you were able to get one or your PDF. And we're starting making a character together. So, but first, we have some ancestries that you guys are going to choose from. We'll put up a voting poll here in a second. But we wanted to introduce you, for those of you who don't know who they are, what they are and what your choices
We
are.
have to make an informed vote, right?
Yeah,
That's very important.
you need to know what you got.
You
at
don't
least.
just pick randomly based on what the name sounds like. So there's 3 new ancestries in the Lost Omens characters guide.
And
In alphabetical order, the
Mhm.
first one is the Hobgoblin. Now, if you take a look at the art here, you can see that Wayne Reynolds has sort of reimagined the look of the Hobgoblin to sort of better fit some of the ability scores we've used with them, and also to sort of look more like it's related to goblins. It
Yeah.
might have been evolved out of goblins to a weird magic effect or whatever the history of the hobgoblins are. So the hobgoblins, they have constitution and intelligence boosts, although funnily enough, they actually hate wizards and elf magic, as they call it.
Yeah.
And they've got a wisdom penalty. and they have all sorts of fun options involving sort of their connection to the world and the lore, and they're pretty good at alchemy. That's how they like to handle their hatred of elf magic with alchemy. So that's hobgoblins, and we've got a few good pictures of them up here. I think we have 3. There's another one. Hobgoblins love their weapons. They've got a lot of good weapons.
I really like the design of this artwork, especially because it gives me sort of like an Aztec-y type feel and everything else. And that's kind of an aesthetic you don't really see in a lot of fantasy art. You sometimes artists kind of get stuck in the medieval fantasy for it. And I really like seeing different, like, people kind of branch off into different styles and kind of culture type armor.
I think that one might be from Cowling, which is an Eastern kind of hobgoblin, but it's
am I wrong? Because I
stereotypical.
gotta get the wrong impression of it, but
I'm not sure. But it is definitely not a traditional Western hobgoblin. I'm not sure. I know one of the ones was from Cowling that we put up there, and I think it's that one. But I can actually, yes, it's called the Cowling hobgoblin. If you look closely at ours, you can see it sort of has some samurai-esque, like, demon face.
Yeah.
But it's a very goblin aesthetic. It's not just real-world Asian aesthetic.
Okay, now
it mixes that with the goblin aesthetic if you're looking close. But I see what you mean about Aztec-y a little bit.
Yeah, it has a mixture. Now I can actually see it up close in the book and not like on our faraway screen. That I can definitely see a lot of the influences that went to it. Like, regardless, I think that's a plus because it's still unique in its own way.
Yeah. Cowling is its own country where the hobgoblins just took control with an oppressive sort of order, and they are disciplined. Sometimes they're a little bit cruel, sometimes they're not, and they basically have this council, and they're very expansionist.
Yeah. So next up, I think we have the Uruxi.
That's right. Or lizard folk, as they are often known. They call themselves the Uruxi, but if you've played them in previous editions, you would know them as lizard folk, so that's the name we put at the top. So lizard folk, or Uruxi, as you might have seen in Oblivion Oath, with Zell, Zell's full name, Zell Kekek, being one of the sample names that's in here, because I asked Gabe, I was like, what's your character's name? We'll put it in the sample names.
His character will forever be immortalized.
So they've got strength and wisdom. They have an intelligence flaw, and they are part of an ancient culture. They have claws, and they're a little bit adapted for the aquatic by virtue of being able to hold their breath really long.
Trying to ask, are they related to the Vests at all?
So they are not related to the Vests at all because of the fact that the Vests are from like a completely different solar system.
Yeah.
It's sort of the case, the fact that they look lizardy instead of the Vests, I'm sure that's a case of what is sometimes considered to be like convergent evolution, where it's sort of analogous instead of homologous. So there just happen to be a lot of lizards, mostly really honestly because people like playing lizards.
Yeah.
But no, they're from Golarion. They're not actually from the Veskarium.
And after anything else about them, like any special thing they get? No, they have languages of common and Uruxi.
Yeah. But they have claws that they just start with, and they can hold their breath a really long time, just always, even before we pick their hair.
So what you're saying, I should take a sailor background for like underground fighting,
and you could gain a swim speed if you're if you're the right kind a wetlander like Zal. So you absolutely could.
Right, and it also
there's a few more. That's a sand strider lizard folk, which are from the desert. The one with the magic there. The one that was bending over is a wetlander.
Yeah, I can show you right here. So this one's a wetlander.
Yep.
And you want to give a brief description of that?
The wetlander is the one that that has a swim speed. And then the sand strider had the magic there from the desert. And then that one that was bending, that was there, is cliffside. And the cliffside are good at climbing. And some of them in Golarion, known as the Unseen, are actually like look like geckos. This one doesn't, because not all of them all look exactly the same. But there's some pretty interesting.
You still make yours look unique in your own way still.
Yep.
And it sounds like that one I might want to, if we do make one, we might want to be more like a melee type fighter or something more of a sneaky style in a way.
You could potentially, yeah. And so we've got all those different kind of Uruxi available.
And next up, I think we have the Leshy, which I think from the forums, a lot of people really wanted
the forums really want the Leshy. So there we've got a fungus Leshy, because Leshies are an embodiment of what was called, they sort of called them nature spirits in Pathfinder First Edition. We tried to describe them a little better here. They first existed in the very beginning of Pathfinder in the commune with nature spell, where it just said you talk to some nature spirits and they tell you things. But then we sort of wound up with these embodiments where you put them into a body of plant or fungal matter, and then they come to life. And in the new edition, where we talk about the essences that build up magic, I envision that these nature spirits aren't made of like spiritual or soul essence from the outer realms at all, but are instead probably made of pure life force and vital energy.
Yeah.
And that also explains why when a Leshy dies, they will usually explode and give some like vital energy into the environment. And then but their spirit is still around. It can embody a new Leshy body. So Leshies are plants, unlike any of the other ancestries that we have so far. They have constitution and wisdom as their ability boosts, and they also have intelligence as a flaw. No, they haven't. That one has intelligence as a flaw. His head is actually hollow because it's a gourd Leshy. We had a fungus before.
Yeah. I apologize. I interrupted you. You're going.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, they have low light vision and they have plant nourishment, which means that they don't eat the same way you and I do.
Yeah.
They might get their nourishment from light and love being in some kind of a room filled with cameras and lights like this, or if they're fungal, they might get it from rotting matter.
And for the different type of Leshies, like, are there different backgrounds for the art that we have?
So those are called heritages. And,
okay.
But yes, so the fungus Leshy is they usually live underground. They have dark vision. And the gourd Leshy has a hollow head that can store things in it. They like to keep keepsakes. And the leaf Leshy is very, very light, like a leaf, like sort of in the breeze. So they never take falling damage because they sort of just drift down to the ground.
And because of that, do they take any penalty for bulk or anything else like that? Like, are there strength to have a strength penalty or flaw?
They don't.
Really?
If you want to get up a lot of strength, you can be strong, but still as light as a leaf. I mean, they are built of weird magical energy, so I guess it makes sense.
Yeah. And these are considered size small.
They are.
Right?
They're about the size of like a halfling or a gnome or a goblin.
Gotcha.
Whereas both of the other two are medium.
Yeah, and that's too soon, Calf. Don't say those words in my chat like that. We don't need to make those types of references.
All right. So shall we put up our poll for
we sure can.
See which one they want?
Let me go ahead and switch over and get ready to poll for everybody here real quick.
All right.
And what we're going to do is so chat, basically on how this poll works, by the way, is that what I'm going to do is also have it notified here for you, chat, so you guys know what to do for those of you who may be a bit different here. So here we go.
All right.
So here are some of the voting here. So based on how this works, so that you can see on to the right side of the screen, you need to put 1, 2, or 3 in the chat, and it's basically going to reflect what shows up here, which you'll see them all dynamically change like they are now. And basically pick which one that you want us to make. This is what we're going to make.
That's
so
right.
This is the ancestry that we're picking. Now that we gave you a general thing, it seems Leshy's dominating.
Yeah, Leshy is dominating, but we need to wait longer. How many?
Well, we'll wait a good bit. So for the Hobgoblin fans and the Lizardfolk fans or Rooksy, we'll basically be able to come in and be like, hey, we got to represent our team.
Yeah, there you go. So, Leshy's still strong, but it now doesn't have the
yeah, it's not completely dominating. So chat, get your votes in, because this is what we're going to put up as a PDF online, and Rooksy's even coming up on speed now. So as we're letting chat vote and everything else, one of the things I want to touch on is that, for one, thank you, by the way, Mark, for coming here and helping me out with this, because I've been trying to game master Pathfinder 2nd Edition for the Fall Plague Stone, by the way, and so far everyone's been loving it.
That's great.
And everything else. So, and
Jason hasn't killed you yet with his super hard encounters?
No, that's one thing.
I can't kill you. You're the game master.
Not me, but one of the players. Let me explain what happened, which I actually recorded some of it. It's hilarious. That are, I gave them all the pre-generated characters, and I let them mess around with it so they can make it a little bit more unique. And they, into the champion, decided to go into a particular area that you go into in Plaguestone, not to spoil a lot of it. But there's a thing that happens that shoots out in a high velocity, and he got critted by it.
Oh no!
And everything else. All
right, so I think we've hit 2 minutes. Is that when we usually give it a call?
Yeah, that's what we do for 3-action game night. So, chat, I'll let you decide. Do you want to give your team a little bit more time? Do you guys want to call it now? Because if we don't hear anything from now, I'm probably going to start calling it here real quick, and it looks like Leshy would win. So, chat, I'm going to get your friends in. Call it.
Call it.
It's like all the Leshy people are like, call it.
All right, we can call it.
All right, we're going to call it now. So, we're going to finish the poll here, and that is
Leshy!
basically So basically, the leaves have basically won this time. So,
Yes. Before we make any of the choices about what we're gonna do with the Leshy, we have a second question that is not normal. We sort of seem to be doing ABCs.
Yeah.
But we're not going to be doing ABCs exactly in order because we wanna showcase everything that's in this book.
Yeah.
That means we're building towards an organization that's in this book, because what are the two like biggest, juiciest things that are in this book? It's probably these 3 ancestries and the 5 big organizations that are in there. So before we figure out what class you are, or anything else, or even which type of Leshy, we want to figure out which organization you're trying to join. So let's explain what those 5 are for everybody who doesn't maybe know them. And one of them is brand new. So if you haven't been watching the blogs, you don't, or reading it in Lostomens World Guide, it's new in 2nd edition. And we'll start with that one, the firebrands. They're also alphabetically first.
Is it okay for you to show them? Or
yeah, I can show them.
Okay.
The firebrands are alphabetically first, and
here
we go. That's the firebrands. They're fighting some Knoll slavers in there. And so firebrands are basically a group of very self-aggrandizing but good characters who want to show how awesome they are while also being very chaotic and overthrowing oppressive regimes. That's basically my best description. They are an amalgam of a lot of different chaotic groups that sort of kind of like, it's not a hierarchy and a council where everyone can decide what you're doing. You can sort of just want to be in the organization and say, I'm in the organization, and that gets you in the ground floor, and then maybe some of the other ones can get you to a higher rank in it, but it's very chaotic. So that's the firebrands. If you're a firebrand, you're going to be usually chaotic good, but neutral good and chaotic neutral sometimes.
Also, if it's easier for you, you can put your book right here and stuff.
I could. I think it's easy. It's easy for me right
whatever's
here.
Easier for you.
The second group is going to be the Hellknights. The Hellknights, you may think they're lawful evil mainly because of the word hell in their title. And here's a picture from the flash fiction about the Hellknights. But they tend more towards lawful neutral, although certainly more likely to be evil than good. And they view that hell is just a good example of an efficient, lawful system. And they want to bring law, and they have very little mercy, which is why they're more likely to be evil than good. But they're not inherently always evil.
Yeah, just don't let them capture you.
They love heavy armor. Then, you don't want them to capture you.
No.
Then we have the Knights of Last Wall, which very recently Leanne Merciel put up a really cool fiction about them and how they're struggling on.
If you go on Paizo.com, you'll see one of the latest fictions as well, along with a little bit more of a close-up. I apologize for interrupting you. One of the things I want to point out in this art piece, which you can see in the Paizo blog and some of the social media posts we did, there's this like giant amalgamation of bodies that are just coming out like a snake and everything else.
It's a Warsworn from Bestiary 1.
That is brutal.
It is a very dangerous creature, which thankfully for the characters in Leanne's story, they did not have to fight in that story. Because that would not have gone well. I mean, maybe it's not a Warsworn, but it's probably a Warsworn. Those things are very dangerous.
It looks horrific and metal all at the same time.
So the Knights of Last Wall used to be maybe one of the less interesting organizations in Golarion, because they were like, we're going to sit here and stop this Lich from coming back.
Yeah.
And they did that for an entire edition with rarely a peep. But then that Lich came back.
Yeah.
And now their whole organization has been broken apart. How they've reacted to that is really exciting and interesting, and it's more of like a round table approach of we'll all be knights and do stuff, rather than I'm your supervisor and let's supervise this Lich. And they tend towards more of the lawful good, but they're neutral good, and even a branch that is now chaotic good that was like, that lawful thing didn't work. So there's sort of a schism in the group, and it's very interesting. Next, after that, we have the Magambia. So the Magambia, here's a picture above the Magambia. The Magambia is a school of magic that believes in the teachings of Old Mage Jatembe, who is one of like the most legendary mythic spellcasters in the past, who believed that all magic could be combined in some ways. And particularly one of the ways he found is if you focus on, we were talking about those essences before, the material essence, matter, what's in the world, then that's something that unites arcane and primal druidic magic. And so the one thing that Jatembe figured out is how you can combine those and just create a sort of syncretic combination of both, called Halcyon magic. And the Magambia is about that. It teaches all kinds of magic. It is sort of a school that doesn't always have walls. You go out, you do things, you travel around and investigate weird magical phenomena like, hey, the world wouldn't just close. And then
Pick something here.
Last, but not only certainly not least, but probably but last but most is, since it has the name of the game in its name, is the Pathfinder Society. Pathfinder Society is basically akin to an Indiana Jones style group that's going around doing adventuring, archaeology, and stopping the more evil and profit motivated groups from getting those rare items and magic and spells. It has an entire organized play where you can play as a member of the Pathfinder Society, and oh boy, are there some fun options in here, whether you're affiliated with the scrolls, the spells, or the swords in the Pathfinder Society. Plus, more options for general agents overall. So those are the 5 organizations. Can we figure out which one they want us to join? That's going to really help us figure out what we're going to do.
So, chat, I hope you've been able to kind of garner which one you may want us to make with. And so, as I refresh there, let's go ahead and switch over to a poll and see which one, chat, do you want us to make.
Okay.
So let me go ahead and start with the poll here. And then we're going to start, then switch on over. So from there, we basically have the Hellknight, Knights of Last Pathfinder Society, Firebrands, and the Magambias. And from there, we're basically going to decide which one do we want. I see Hellknight is going to be very popular because
they're popular.
Oh,
but
wait.
All 5 are pretty popular except the Pathfinder Society.
Remember to get all your friends in together, start voting everything else, because these are going to become public. Like, we are going to get the PDF characters that we're making. I'm going to see if I can save it as a level 1 to 3.
Magambia, Lights of Last Wall, and Firebrands are giving Hellknight a run for its money, but they're all splitting their vote. So,
and remember, you can only vote once. So as soon as you vote once, that's all you got.
It's too late at that point. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty. I don't know. Are you excited for any of these organizations?
I'm excited for Hellknight. Actually, that's actually the one that I really wanted to see.
It's kind of ahead. And Leshy Hellknight is a pretty weird choice, but it's one that we could definitely do. It's like they don't have a strength penalty or anything, like we said.
Yeah.
They could be pretty fitting. I think we could do it.
I think it's interesting. They have a very small plant that is in full plate armor.
Yep.
Going around trying to do, a hellscape style law enforcement. Just going around or trying to emulate, like, stop cutting down my trees and everything else. Like, it's really hard to imagine for me, but I'm also imagining a Leshy that has, like, like red leaves and everything else, kind of matching sort of like, sort of like a bark armor in a way that might have been infused with iron and stuff like that.
That makes sense. So it's gone past 2 minutes, and the numbers are low enough that only a few votes could still really tip it. But I think Hellknights has a pretty big advantage.
I think we should do a lightning round. I'm going to count down to 5, and that's when I'm going to end it. So if you have any friends who need to quickly get on chat now and vote, you better do it now. So let's get ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's over.
All right.
Hellknight
still picked it up. All right, so now that we've done Hellknight, I'm not going to describe the classes. We're just going to put up a poll of which classes, and we've curated it so that they can actually be a Hellknight with some reasonable ease. We're going to pick the one that says which Hellknight are you going to play.
Right, class. So, all right, chat. So this is what we're going to do. Pick which class we're going to play with our Hellknight.
Yep.
So we got our organization down, so we need chat's help to pick which class we're going to make.
And unless Peyton and I mess this up, all of these classes should have the ability to get medium armor proficiency at first level, and then we will be able to, from there, or heavy. From there, we'll be able to pick up heavy, and we will not be super delayed into Hellknight, because obviously a wizard getting into Hellknight is a challenge, and you can do it, but it takes a little while.
So now that we picked Hellknight and everything else, and as we're giving them time to vote, one question. Do you know who designed the Hellknight or brought it up at all?
Who created the idea of the Hellknight all the way in the past? Oh man, was
not in the way in the past, but in its new edition here in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Did you work on the new edition for it? Or
so you mean the new rules?
Yeah.
So the new rules for the Hellknight Armiger were something that were, I would say, in order, probably me, Logan, and Eleanor and Luis were involved with. The Hellknight and Hellknight Signifer, which are the sort of the more advanced ones that are in the new book, because they've seen the Armiger that's in the World Guide. Those are something that were almost entirely Luis and I working through at one point in time to try to figure it out. So, but there was also some stuff from in there from Eleanor. Eleanor helped out. There was some from Amanda, and so a lot of people were involved. And all of the awesome flavor text for the Hellknight in Lost Omens character guide is pretty much Amanda, and we didn't even change it that much. So
so everything basically stayed from long ago.
Yeah.
So basically, and I mentioned
she's one of our like top Cheliax writing people.
And for majority of Hellknights, when you like, I don't know how many people you saw play Hellknights in the past and all. How did people usually play them? More like a tank or like a basically going out trying to deal as much damage in their own unique ways, or did they kind of?
It really depends on the Hellknight and somewhat on the order, and the personality. Like I had a Hellknight character who was from a mostly spellcasting order, although she was a monk, and she would tank, but she actually didn't wear armor, even though she was supposed to. She wasn't all the way in the prestige class. She was a member, but they never let her get to full Hellknight because she couldn't wear heavy armor.
Yeah, but she got some of the perks though.
Yep.
Everything else. So with that and everything else, I'm going to check on chat here. It's everything.
Let's see.
Time skip between 1E and 2E.
There is not a time skip. It goes directly from the end of Tyrant's Grasp into the beginning of Age of Ashes. Yeah. Now, if you were thinking from Rise of the Runelords until 2E, but that's not a skip. We've been living each of those years.
Yeah.
So what do we got here?
We seem to have.
My goodness, it's close. My goodness.
I'm going to count down to 5, and we're going to see if either Ranger or Champion takes it.
All right.
So we're going to count down from here, chat. Better to get your votes in between Champion and Ranger in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it's over. So
and
we have a
champion.
That's kind of appropriate because I think they start with heavy proficiency.
They definitely do. We're a champion. In fact, we know that we're a paladin because of combining the restrictions of the Hellknights with the restrictions of the champion class, and we don't have an evil champion yet.
It was time for a good 30 seconds at least. Oh, really now?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was really engrossed with Mark explaining me.
It was very close, but we're going to be a Leshy champion Hellknight. Okay, and those are all of the polls. From now on, we're going to be able to just build this quickly ourselves, which is good. So let's go through this. We're going to start with being a Leshy. So let's see, Peyton, what do you think? Maybe a fungus Leshy. So you have dark vision. You can deal with devils and hellish stuff. Or the gourd Leshy who has nothing inside your head and you store something in there. The leaf Leshy for falling.
I think chat really wanted to see a fungus Leshy. Chat, did you want to see a fungus Leshy be made?
Do a fungus Leshy.
Or actually, but before you write on that and everything else, one of the things we're also going to show you here, chat, is that let me enable this for you. There's no smooth way we're doing this. Boop. There we go. We now have this PDF which we can actually write on and everything else. You're going to actually see us fill this out live.
All right, fungus Leshy. It's done. All right. So we're being a fungus Leshy. We're doing ABCs. And so hold on, let me tick some things here so that we can remember what modifier is. So we got con and wisdom with an int penalty for now.
Yeah. Let me see my pen real quick.
Oh, sure.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of my name here.
Okay. Because they can put their name in there.
Yeah, they can do that. And I'm going to put a placeholder that I'm going to put with my horrible sideways handwriting.
Oh, no.
There we go.
It's Twitch chat.
Twitch chat's character.
All right. So let's see. We've got con and we've got wisdom. Let's grab strength for our Hellknight as the extra one during the ancestry step. Now we're gonna do a background. Let's take one from Lost Omens World Guide from Cheliax region because that's where a lot of Hellknights like to hang out. Let's be.
And thanks, Rasta. And as he's looking up here, one of the things that I didn't really like that we did the first time, you guys remember the countdown stuff? One of the things I really wanted was to do something like this where we could show you the character sheet live and to see us actually write down on it and everything else. So hopefully this makes up for not having a character sheet last time because I felt really bad for that one.
All right.
So
we are
this one we can actually show something nice.
Loyalist. That means that we got strength and charisma. We're gonna take religion as a trained skill.
Yeah, and also this is a good way as well to kind of show you guys chat on how to use this character sheet because I know I've had some of my players and stuff because it's obviously different from some of the other RPGs that they've played. And so if you have a friend who has no idea how to use a character sheet and stuff like that, this is a really good way to kind of come on over and say, hey, this is how we do this and that. So what kind of special thing are we doing?
We got hell lore. and we got the student of the canon background feat, which means that we typically know about some of the basic like information about deities, and we don't screw it up and think that Asmodeus is actually a butterfly.
And for Hell lore, what do you think that would be basically entail? It's like, say for example, I've seen the demonic ritual and carvings on a
diabolic.
stone. Or diabolic as well.
Yeah, no, only diabolic.
Only diabolic. And maybe if I see like a certain demon from a bestiary or something, or something like that. Devil, sorry. And
they're all different. And you know, I don't want to mess you up, but daemons are a third different thing. There's different than demons and devils.
Okay, I'm still new and I'm still learning.
Don't worry about it. There are as many evil kinds of fiends as there are people who want to make new evil fiends. Yeah. There's Sakils and Velstrax and everything. So Hell lore is all about the inhabitants of Hell, which is mostly devils. But there's also some other friends who live down there in Hell, like Hellhounds. So you would know about like the layers of Hell and the archdukes who ruled them, such as Mammon, who he kind of got killed while trying to bribe a bunch of people to help Hell. But his spirit survived in the bribe, so now he's made of money. Yeah. And he loves money.
And I'm sorry to slow you down. It's mostly because I wanted to stop and trying to explain some of the new stuff that Chad hasn't seen yet.
Okay, so this is not new. It's a
so
it came from a new background, but it is a sort of new background from Lostomens World Guide, but it is an absolutely not new skill feat from the core rulebook that basically means that you will not be critically failing on attempts to learn about religious writings and tenets of faith. And also, when you recall knowledge about your own faith, you actually pretty much don't fail at all, unless you would have rolled a critical failure. You know about your own faith really, really a lot.
Yeah. And so Chad can follow along with this. It's on 267
it
on the core rulebook.
It sure is. So we've now picked your background, and we Chad picked your class. So you are going to be a champion.
And also, Chad, just so we can kind of show you a little bit better here. Let's see here. I want to bring this a little bit larger for you, chats, and see if I can do that. There you go. So you guys can kind of see what we're making here.
Small. Your traits are Leshy and Plant. All right. Let's pick a deity for you that's lawful neutral.
Let's get something from chat. Chat, what deity does this character follow? Quickly.
Abadar.
All right, first one, Abadar.
Yeah,
Let's go.
That's what I was gonna pick anyway. It's a really good choice for this, because it's lawful neutral but allows lawful good paladins. Yeah. So it's really a good fit for a Hellknight, Leshy. And it's like this is Leshy just likes commerce and money, and Abadar is a good choice. Okay, so we've got a fungus Leshy. I feel like maybe this fungus Leshy's philosophy is that the flow of the economy and money is just like the cycle of sort of decomposition that feeds the Leshy, and it feels like those two are very intertwined and that they work in similar ways. Like, well, you decompose, but then you feed the fungus, and then that grows, and then someone eats the plant, and that's how money goes in the economy.
That's how money makes the world go round.
That's right. So by virtue of being a champion, we also picked up another boost here. So we have now we get 4 free boosts because we've done ABCs. So we'll grab strength, charisma again, constitution for 4 hit points.
You want to let chat choose the last one, or do we need a formula like this? Because we are putting it up as a PDF for people to use. So I would say, I mean, they can, but I was probably going to pick dexterity so that we had some, or wisdom. I mean, we could fill in the int modifier. Any of them is fine. Let's do this. Chat, dexterity or wisdom for a free one.
They said dexterity already.
One said dexterity. Quickly, chat. Dexterity or wisdom?
All right.
Let's see which one's more popular.
Oh, it's all... Oh,
dex,
no, there's a little wisdom, but it's all dex.
Yep, we're going for dex.
All right. Sounds good. And we will eventually be in a heavy enough armor that we don't need the dex for AC, but it's we don't want to have a completely low reflex save, probably. All right, so, great. Well, I put all these tally marks here, but that actually, this is sort of a little trick that, Jason and I both use where we put tally marks and then that becomes your modifier. And the minus means that your modifier is -1.
Very good. And Chad, is this preview thing of making character sheets working out for you guys? Like, I'd actually like to get some feedback on this while he's doing it.
Do you like watching me doing this? Can you see it? Does it help explain what you need to do?
Yeah, and also at the same time, on the forums, by the way, on the exact same thread that I did to bring you guys' attention to this stream, I would love some feedback and everything else on trying to make this type of stuff better.
All right.
Because I definitely want you guys to learn with me. As Mark and the rest of the design team are doing their best to try to help me out, better understand the system so we can better present it to you, so we can help you guys make your games better.
All right. So let's see what we've got here. We need to put in all your basic stuff for being a champion. So that's going
So, chat, you can screenshot that in its progress.
That's going to include trained in perception.
So we can go all the way perception. It was all the way down here.
Yep. Yeah, you're trained in perception. You are expert in fortitude and will.
All you got to do is to check them there.
I usually check them both so that I can just keep checking along.
Nice, useful tips.
And trained in reflex, so that's going to be proficiency is 5, 3, 5.
Quincy was asking, not sure I got the reason behind the marks. It's just a tally for all the free boosts that you're getting.
That we were gaining, yeah, exactly.
So one mark was like the +2 for your boosts.
Yep, and that way all I was doing was making those tallies, and then it immediately generated the ability scores at the end. Yeah, you figured it out. All right, so this is +7, +4, and +6.
Let me see that, Pam. That's that. I don't know. I don't agree that. I don't agree. That's a 7.
What, so we're gonna go. A 7.
That looks like a 7. There you go.
You don't like putting a line through your 7?
I mean, sometimes I do, but that looks like it was a fish hook. I'm giving you crap.
You now have 7 as your condition. All right. So we've got +4 here. All right. So your hit points from Leshy is normally 8. They're a pretty solid kind for a small character. So with your champion hit points, it'll be 20. I'll come back to it if we take toughness or something. Oh, I guess we can't, so we don't have to worry about that. So we're trained in every kind of possible way that you may even eventually want to armor yourself, and we'll figure out what you're actually wearing in a moment. Yeah. So you're not the smartest tool in the shed.
Are you making fun of my Leshy? Are you making fun of chat's Leshy, Mark?
Yes.
Yep. Chat, are you going to take that from Mark? He's calling your Leshy not an intelligent plant.
I mean, it's more intelligent than most plants.
It's a fishbowl scenario.
Or fungi, but all right, so Abadar is going to give us society as a skill. So we have that. That definitely occurs. And we also had religion anyway.
Yeah.
From before, which we're about to get it again, which means that I guess I don't need the minus. Which means that we get to pick whichever we want, and then we get 2 extra plus our intelligence modifier, which is unfortunately 2 plus -1 is 1. So we only get 2 more skills. We better choose wisely. I would say probably athletics, because we have
let's do athletics.
Very good strength.
And let's what choices would chat have?
Well, intimidation to be a Hellknight is just very, very iconic for a Hellknight.
Let's do 1 for intimidation, chat. 1 for intimidation, and what's the other one that we can let them choose?
Let's see. Maybe medicine, in case you need to patch someone up that you've been mistreating, so that you can mistreat them more because you're a Hellknight, I guess. I don't know.
All right. So chat, intimidation or medicine? So let me try to hear it. So intimidation or medicine? Like 1 or 2.
We have diplomacy and nature coming in.
I'm seeing a lot of intimidation.
Yeah, there's a lot of 1. We can't take both Ashamintalu. Go back to the Lady's Light where you were bound into that top floor. So
intimidation seems to be working here.
Yeah, let's do intimidation. It's a Hellknight. So we've got good charisma too, right? Yeah, we've got +2. That's not bad. Yep. So we've got a total of +5 here on intimidation. All right. So we've got our skills. We've got our saving throws. We know we're trained in weapons and armor. That'll be fine when we get around to them. We're trained in class DC. So let's just put that in there real fast. It's 15. In case your lay on hands goes up against a zombie, they have to make a 15. All right, so what special abilities are we going to gain? So down to...
Because this is for champion and everything else.
This
so.
is for champion. A lot of the stuff we're doing here is just from the core rulebook because that's what happens at first level. So we've done our ancestries and backgrounds and initial proficiency.
Try saying something about an athletics one. What does that mean?
Oh, yeah. I already took athletics.
Okay.
And then we let them pick the other one.
Okay.
So, yeah, they've got athletics in there. Oh, they're saying I didn't fill in the athletics final score, probably, which I didn't. Because it's a dexterity or a strength-based skill, so it's it might have an armor penalty. Oh, no, wait, you have a lot of strength. It probably won't have an armor check penalty, but just in case it does.
Yeah,
I feel like you don't even have enough money to buy an armor that has a higher strength requirement.
I think with all the money that you get based, I think it's like 15 gold you get this beginning. I think that might be enough to get half plate.
Yeah, but I think 18 strength is enough for half plate, and you have 18 strength. So it should be fine, but I didn't fill it in just in case.
Yeah.
Oh, also for the... Oh, right. Before we go too super into that, though, let's give them something new. Because we get to pick some things for ancestry. So we're a fungus Leshy already.
Yep.
So that's fungus Leshy. And you had a special ability already, which is plant nourishment. Which is where you eat rotting things.
What does plant nourishment do for them? So they can get some context?
Since you are a fungus who does not rely on photosynthesis... you derive nourishment from decaying matter instead of from like eating food.
I know we touched on it, but it's for people coming into the live stream. I know it's probably going to be repeating for VOD, but
vision. Yeah, but when it's a stream, I guess people come in at any time.
Yeah,
so
like,
we need
some
to
people might
sure.
catch it late.
All right, we're gonna grab a Leshy feat for you as well.
All right, so you want to read them out for chat?
So yeah, we've got grasping reach, which is kind of fun for a champion. It might be a good option where we like extend out fungal blooms from your and vines from your hands, and then do less damage, but can like do it at reach.
And quickly, chat, as he's reading these out, start voting for which one you might want. If something sounds interesting, start yelling it in chats because we're gonna look to you and pick one from what you're yelling.
I'm not sure we'll have time for a higher level version if we keep voting. Yeah, but I kind of like letting them pick two. Harmlessly cute, I'm just going to skip because we are obviously not harmlessly cute. Okay. Leshy lore, to help make up for our skill problems, will give us nature, stealth, and Leshy lore. 3 skills to really add on because we're behind on skills. Leshy superstition is where you think that objects have spirits just like you do, and it lets you, as a reflex, as a reaction, trying to get a bonus on saving throws. Seed pod sort of gives you a ranged attack that you can shoot out at people at a very close distance, kind of like a thrown weapon, although it's a ranged unarmed attack. Shadows of the Wild lets you basically always be covering your tracks, even if you didn't say you were covering your tracks. And then Undaunted is basically that you've seen a lot since you've been a spirit, and maybe a Leshy, then a spirit, then a Leshy. So you're really good against emotion effects.
All right, chat, quickly, which one? But go ahead and pick one preemptively in case they're undecided.
I'm going to pick that one.
Okay, so chat, we can... Okay, they're looking for Undaunted, Seed Pod, Leshy Lore, Seed Pod, and Undaunted is what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, there's a few Shadow, but Seed Pod and Undaunted are very popular. All right, let's take Undaunted because of Hellknights.
Yeah.
Undaunted by anything, although... let me see. Are we already going to get something similar to that from Hellknight? I guess we can just not take that one. Yes, we would from the Ardent Armor feat, but we could just not take that one. So let's do Undaunted.
So
I don't think we should take Seed Pod on the grounds that we only have 12 dexterity, so it's not going to really hit.
All right. Thank you for helping us on that one, chat. All right. So next up.
All right.
Because we only got so much time.
I know. That's why. So we're done picking the first level Leshy ability. Now we have to do the rest of our stuff from champion. So we gained a champion's code. Champion's code.
Yeah. I'm sorry for extending stuff for you, by the way.
Oh yeah, don't worry about it. If we have to go a little bit longer to get it done, then that's fine unless we have another show coming on right afterwards. I know Dragons and Things is a little while from now.
I think we have an hour before Dragons and Things shows up.
Okay, so we gain Deific Weapon, which means that our crossbow actually does a lot of damage if we want to use it. Because we worship Abadar.
Random question for chat: does Leshy, does the body of Eden have any medical effects?
Does the body of Eden have any medical effects because of the vital essence that's pumping through it? Normally not, although there might be an option you can take.
Let's say if it, because you're eating it, because the death thing goes for it. But
so let's see.
Yeah.
Do we have an option in there right now? I think we may have at one point that was cut for copy fit.
Yeah.
But there could be options involving growing berries that heal
Yeah.
people on the.
Ask
on
your
the
game
list.
master.
All
Game master
right,
can
so we've
decide
got the
that.
champion's reaction, and your champion's reaction is going to be retributive strike.
Okay.
And then we also have there's just so many features for champions. These are still features. We have devotion spells, lay on hands. I'm just gonna write lay on hand. Well, I guess you have devotion spells.
You can also write it on the side there, so there might be
Spells.
room.
I think you can't because it'll just scroll if you go on the side.
Oh yeah.
You have devotion spells, which is lay on hands, and you have shield block. You have a lot of features. You have shield block. And then we will do your champion feat. So let's grab ranged reprisal in case we want to use the crossbow from Abadar or a ranged weapon at some point. Or no, I'm not a ranged. Sorry, we're gonna be bad with that. But in case we want to use a reach weapon, on people or be able to take a step up to someone, we'd like to have ranged reprisal because we can retributively strike more often.
Yeah.
Really, no matter what we do, ranged reprisal is pretty useful. So that's going to let us take a step before we attack or potentially use a ranged weapon for our retributive strike if we want to, which we probably don't with our dexterity.
Yeah.
All right, so that's everything I believe is complete for first level from here. Now, at first level, we haven't been able to take any Hellknight stuff yet. Those all kick in starting at level 2.
Yeah.
So, I believe this character and we didn't buy any of our gear. So,
all right, chat, give me a gear list quick. We take the champions kit just to make things easier.
Yeah, we take the champions kit for sure.
And so you guys know, in the future and stuff, I'll probably take some time and either work with Mark or somebody else to flesh out this PDF so it looks better for you. And a little bit more fleshed out with some explanations of what things do. I'll even take the work on that just to make sure things get a little bit more fleshed out. So if you give it to a random character or not a character, or a random player, they at least know what's going on.
All right, so let's actually grab a.
I'll go to your inventory section here. There you go.
Let's actually grab a chainmail. Even though the champion kit says hide armor, and I know this is gonna be very expensive, but Hellknights like their metal armor. I think we should.
Need that AC to be very high.
Yeah, we do. I would even go breastplate because Hellknights like plate, but it's even more expensive, and I think we might run out of money if we do that. So we've got the.
I mean, we don't need food technically. So
we don't need food, so that's a good. We're not gonna buy the basic adventures pack because that's got a lot of food and torches and stuff, and we
can vendor them off.
We can see in the dark, and we don't need food, so we don't need that. We should probably grab. We didn't wind up with the seed pod, so 4 javelin. Oh, that's not a worn item. That is a 4 javelins. So that's readied items, 4 javelins. Then that we can take that from here. A dagger is probably good to have,
just in case. You never know if you get grabbed by something and need to be able to pull something out.
Crowbar.
For all your box needs.
And a sheath for the dagger, and then the grappling hook in here somewhere. And we're a Leshy, so we don't need like a bedroll. We can just
one thing I'm going to add myself, because everyone knows you need this item wherever you go.
Rope, yes, that's a good point. That would have been in the adventurers pack that we didn't buy.
Yep.
So that's why I forgot about it. You absolutely.
I've had characters die in many a pit.
You need to have rope. Good call. So let's grab whatever your weapon is going to be. So are you thinking one-handed weapon and shield, or are you thinking two-handed weapon?
Just for time, and I think chat might agree with me on this one, let's do one-handed and sword and board.
All right, sword and board. That's easy. Then you are readying a long sword and a shield. Let's do a...
Just 1 foot of rope? No, it's just one thing of rope. I'll actually put the long length of rope that's decent when we actually flesh it out for the internet.
A steel shield. Where is that? Where are you, shield? Here we go. Steel shield.
There we go.
We can afford this. Not by much. But I won't worry about calculating the bulk and the gold. I will just assert that we have enough because we have enough. So
We have a high strength anyway.
other than that, and we don't have the personality or any of these campaign notes, and we didn't write down our
Mm-hmm.
reactions. We are in. Oh, also, I realize now that I messed this up. Your class DC is actually 17. We should put your speed, which is 25 feet. We can fill in your athletics because we now know you are not taking the penalty from your.
Nice.
You're not taking the penalty because you have enough strength.
Having a 7 athletics is awesome at first level.
Yep. We can put in the attack bonus for your longsword, which is going to be 4. 3 from proficiency is 7.
Mm-hmm.
Also is also very good. Your javelins are not as good. That's only going to be a 4, but at least.
Yeah, at least with like my 2 first actions, I can still run up, and then use the javelin.
Right.
Just kind of close the distance if I can't get there quick enough.
That's right, and it's slashing. It's versatile, piercing.
I think versatile basically means I can
slash or pierce with it. And then the javelin is the one needs. It does a lot of damage. It's got some like it's thrown. Let me see what the range on it is. It is a range of 30 feet. So range increment 30 feet.
Yeah.
Okay. So that. Oh, and we go up and put in your armor now. So 1 dexterity, which is the cap from your chainmail, and you're trained in that. So that's gonna be. Oh, wait a minute.
Also, Chad, as he's doing all this, think of a name for this character.
18 AC, and we have a shield which is +2, and shield's hardness is going to be 5. 20 maximum hit points, 10 break threshold, current hit points 20. It has the same number of hit points as you have. So, and our languages are actually in the Leshy entry. That's going to be
common and tree.
Common and Sylvan is going to be what you speak. So that's basically common and tree. They're right.
Yeah, there you go.
Common and Sylvan.
What weapon proficiency are we trained in?
Simple and martial.
There we go. And I think that's generally most of the stuff.
We have done all of first level. Now it's going to be a tough sell to actually get up to 5 or 6, but we did tell people we were going to do that. And
yeah,
we want them to be able to see their Hellknight stuff.
Because I want to respect your time as well, dude. Do you have time to level up to 5?
I do, but and I love having them pick things. I don't have time to let them pick things.
So
if we level up to 5, or in this case, probably
for permission
6.
of chat because I want to respect the people who came over here and everything else. So we might go a little bit over time. So chat, is that okay with you? Is that okay? We go over time and try to level up. Like he has to make the decisions for going to 5. But I just want to ask you guys, chat, is that okay? And as an apology, I think we should add 1, 2.
Especially since we actually didn't have any problems with this tech, so that's pretty good. All right, looks like people are okay with overtime, and we're gonna do level 6 because both of the super Hellknight, like the full Hellknight, the full ranking member is a 6th level archetype. So we're gonna do 6 so we can take the dedication. All right.
So apologize, time, if you slotted in your time now, but we want to get to level 5 to at least show you guys. And so you guys know we're also going to be putting these up online, so you guys can try them out. And still think of a character name.
Have you saved it at level 1?
Yes. Let's go ahead and save it. Let me see my pen, please, sir.
Sure.
So what we're going to do...
you can't have your pen back.
Ha! So we're going to go ahead and save that right now. So right now that is currently saved. So
okay, it's saved. Then I'm going to start putting it up to level 6.
If anything else, we have an entire video to...
Sure. We can figure it out. So we're now level 6. Oh my gosh, a lot of things happened.
Yeah. So if everyone knows, main reason we're going to level 6 is because there are feats at level 6 for a Hellknight.
We become a full Hellknight at level 6.
So we want to at least show you that.
And that's traditionally been you had to fight a bearded devil or more to get into the Hellknights, and we didn't want to change that. So you still do, to be a full member, you have to be level 6. So we're gonna grab where are our class feats? Oh, here they are.
There you go.
So we grabbed Hellknight Armor dedication at 2nd. Armor dedication. That is basically I'm a trainee Hellknight. What is that going to do?
Yep.
That's from Lost Omens World Guide, so you guys might already know what this is going to do. But basically, it's going to give us resistance to mental damage that goes up the more feats we take from Hellknight archetypes. So it's going to be at least 2 right now, and by the time we're at level 6, it's going to be more than 2. And it's also going to make us an expert in, guess what? Intimidation and Hell Lore, which happen to be the ones we started with if we were already trained, which we are, because we started in Intimidation and Hell Lore. So I'm glad you guys picked Intimidation, because getting to be expert in those is super good. So normally a 2nd level character that isn't a rogue can't even get expert into a skill. And we got, oh right, I didn't even fill in Hell Lore before. So at 1st level, oops, it would have been this. But now at level 6, it's going to be...
Oh, sorry. Let me fix you there. There you go.
It's going to be much better, but I won't do the total because the ability scores may also change. That's going to give us that, and it's going to give us some mental resistance. Where do resistances go? I'm going to put mental 2 for the moment. We'll go back and erase it depending on what other things we take. So let me grab back to champion. Wow, I actually turned almost exactly back to champion and make sure I'm not missing anything we get.
It's like you helped make this book.
I know.
You're on the front.
So we also get a skill feat at this point. Wow, we got a free expert intimidation, so I'm really tempted to take an intimidation skill feat based on that.
I think Chad would like that. I think you guys would like an intimidation skill feat.
So let's see what we have here for intimidation skill feats. We've got lasting coercion. We've got intimidating prowess, which lets us intimidate more if we have high strength. That's actually pretty handy. Intimidating glare, group coercion.
People like glare.
Hellknights do sometimes glare at people and demoralize them without speaking. I can see that.
Just a small little angry plant.
I do also like intimidating prowess because you have a very high strength. But let's do intimidating glare. Chat was able to communicate it so quickly that
good job, chat.
That it did not slow down our attempt to intimidating glare to do this. So we've got intimidating glare. And that's it for 2nd level, because we spent our champion feat on Hellknight Armiger dedication. We got some more hit points, but I'll just do that all at once.
Yeah.
Okay, so at 3rd level, we gained a divine ally. And because we chose to have a shield, I'm going to make an executive decision that we chose a shield ally. So divine ally shield. That's going to make our shield be full of Abadar-like Aeonism, and it'll be stronger.
So I can see that just fine. Yeah.
And it's going to have more hardness.
Is this a male or female character? Chat, you decide.
Yep. And Leshies are they can be male or female. They can be not, because they're also spirits. They tend to have all sorts of genders.
Yeah.
Including agender. So because of our shield ally, we gained additional, where's that shield? We gained additional hardness and additional hit points and break threshold, which is going to help us out. Also at 3rd level, we got a general feat and a skill increase. So I'm going to increase athletics because we're real good at athletics. And then with we got that other general feat. So with that general feat, let's grab... What general feats are there here?
As he's looking through it, I'm trying to imagine, chat, what this type of character might be in terms of story-wise. So, and you guys might be able to help me with this.
We're really tanky. Let's grab toughness.
There you go.
What do you think? Peyton, does that make sense?
Yep, let's do it. We need to make this a pure Hellknight tank. Just a small,
so we're gonna
angry
grab
blur.
Toughness, as our general feat. All right. So that's going to give us more hit points. Then now that we've chosen that, that's all for level 3. At level 4, we actually have some pretty interesting possibilities. We could take Mercy, but what Hellknight has Mercy?
None.
So instead...
It's vengeful.
There's a few things we can do, but let's see what we can do over here in the new book. Oh no, those are all higher level feats. So if we want to take Hellknight feats, we could take the Ardent Armiger, which has become less useful to us due to the fact that we were undaunted, and it sort of overlaps. we can take Diabolic Certitude. Oh, actually, that's a skill feat that we can take. I'll keep that in mind because we're also getting a skill feat this level.
And what does that do?
Well, it means that we can roll every time we see a devil, we can just recall about the devil, and we're never wrong.
Yeah. So basically, you get the knowledge.
We might
of
not
it.
know anything, but we're never wrong.
Yeah.
So we never get wrong information, and we don't have to spend actions. Oh yeah, that's a devil. We're
Exactly.
trained to fight this.
We know what that is.
The whole point of being a Hellknight Armorer is you're trained to fight devils. Oh, actually, let's get Mortification as our 4th level feat. That sounds fun. That lets us get now, Peyton.
Mm-hmm.
Which kind of weapon do you think you would be scarred and mortified to be defended against? Bludgeoning, slashing, or piercing?
Slashing, because someone's going to probably chase our poor Leshy with a lawnmower.
Oh yeah,
or with a scythe.
Cut you
we
down
can specifically
scythe, right?
make it a scythe that
yeah,
they're
I bet
scared
that's
of.
what it is. So we're gonna first of all, since we're taking a Hellknight feat, that's gonna be mental and slashing 3 already. It's probably gonna. I mean, we know it's going up to 4. So
yeah.
And I'll put Mortification for your next class feat. That's pretty cool. And then now this is not a class feat, it's a skill feat, so it won't raise your resistances if I do that. But do you want to take Diabolic Certitude just for fun for your 4th level?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Diabolic Certitude. You always know about devils. Oop, I wrote Diabolic Gratitude. That's not right. That's not right. Okay, so that's 4th level. And we've got that's everything for 4th level. Now at 5th level, we get a bunch of stuff. So we
get an ability boost, ancestry feats, skill increase, and a weapon expertise.
How much do we want to just say, well, you know what, we are we know we're never gonna level this up again, and how much do we want to pretend it's a real character?
Let's try to make it as real as we can, because someone actually may want to use this.
So I'm gonna use an ability boost on strength to 19, even though it doesn't help us yet. Let's boost charisma to 16 to get a +3. Let's boost constitution and wisdom, just like chat actually.
Just like King
Trash.
Yep.
Said it in chat, and I think
he's on the ball. Chat, you've been amazing so far.
King Trash really knows what trash that he is talking about. So let's just boost those. That's pretty good.
Chat's saying increase the armor. I guess we can give him full plate later.
In fact, we're gonna give him Hellknight plate from
the book.
From the book. That's right. It's pretty similar to full plate. The main thing is that it's very distinctive, and that Hellknights will punish you if you are foolish enough to try to use their Hellknight plate. So we've got our ability boosts. What's next? Ancestry feat. Oh, higher level Leshy. Let's see what we've got in here. So
don't worry, chat. We'll get the AC value here. Don't worry.
We'll get everything. Also, the higher level Leshy feats are Leshy Glide, which we cannot take because we're not a Leaf Leshy or someone with Catfall. So we can take Speak with Kindred, which lets us talk to fungi and question them. Have you seen a criminal around here?
Have you seen any devils or demons?
What is a criminal? I'm a mushroom. Or Ritual Reversion, which lets you change from like this big intimidating fungus in heavy armor into just like a fairly large but innocuous looking toadstool that's just sitting around.
We can make it like a blood dripping style toadstool and everything else in full plate, kind of. Maybe.
Well,
no,
but that's what you would look like normally. But if you took Ritual Reversion, you can transform into just a like big. But
okay, it's opposite. Okay,
but it transforms into it's like a disguise. You just look like it's just a big mushroom now. You're not a person. It's just there's just a mushroom.
Chat's saying that one.
That one. Okay.
So that one we're picking.
You know, Hellknights have to be able to do a sting operation. It's like
they have to camp out and.
I can just imagine someone in the town like walking up. They walk up and they point to a mushroom and you say, "You have to tell me if you're a cop." And it's just a regular.
Stop!
Mushroom.
You violated the law.
Doesn't do anything. All right. So let's grab Ritual Reversion. All right. So, now we can change into a mushroom. Everyone likes to turn into a mushroom. And we also gained a skill increase. Actually, this is our second, would be our second expert, but we actually got a lot of them for free. So
how much of an increase did we get in the skill?
we increase from trained to expert. So
Okay,
let's
so you
put
just
that
pick
in
one and just make it
religion.
an expert. So
Yep.
that's from 3 or 4, 5. Is that right, or 5 or 6?
I'm
trying to learn myself.
Oh,
so.
this is gonna put it up to 4 plus our level.
Okay,
Since
yeah,
our
okay.
level is 6.
Got it. Okay.
For this character, it'll.
I
put
kept
it
thinking
there.
we were level 1 for some reason.
Yep, and then this is just gonna be 8. And I'll erase these totals. We can figure it out in a moment. All right, so that is skill increase, and we gain weapon expertise. That's good. That's gonna give us expert in all those weapons that we were trained in before for another +2 to hit. That is a very good thing to have. So let's.
So all these check marks are just spam.
Boom. Those totals will change later on. All right, last level, level 6. Here we go. We're gonna take.
We get a champion feat and a skill feat.
And we're gonna take some Hellknight feats again, and these are gonna be from a book that they haven't seen. They actually could have seen all the Hellknight feats we've taken up to this point because they were all from Lost Omens World Guide. That's why it took us level 6, because now we can take a feat from Lost Omens Character Guide. So, by the way, even if we didn't take the Hellknight archetype and just stayed as an Armiger, there's an 8th level feat that any Armiger can take called Order Training, which lets us pick our Hellknight order and give special abilities that are different based on your order. We're not going up that high. We are going to take Hellknight Dedication, so we're going to assume we pass the Hellknight test, because how could this Leshy not pass the Hellknight test? Resistant to slashing. Try slashing me with your beard now, Barbazu. So we've got Hellknight Dedication. And if you were wondering, wait, how can you take a dedication feat after you haven't taken 2 other dedication feats from the original dedication? A, we actually did because we took a skill feat. But B, you don't have to take Hellknight. You specifically can take Hellknight. Even if we hadn't taken Mortification or Diabolic Certitude, we can go right into Hellknight anytime we want.
Yeah.
And our requirements were Hellknight Armiger Dedication, which we have, Lawful Alignment, which we have, and Member of the Hellknight Order who has passed the test. So we have forged our body to comply with the commands of mind orders steeped in the measure and chain. You gain expert proficiency in intimidation or another skill in which you're trained of your choice. If you're already an expert in intimidation, we absolutely are already an expert in intimidation. Haha! We're so unintelligent. We are now an expert in everything we have. That's actually pretty impressive. I've never built a character.
-1? No,
it's still -1.
That's still safe. We didn't
but
change
I've never built a character that's expert in all of their skills. This is exciting. We gain the armor.
Gets to play with it.
We gain the armor specialization effects of Hellknight plate. Now that's hard to get normally. Normally you have to actually be a pretty high proficiency with your armor to get the armor specialization effects, but we get them right now. And our resistance from armor specialization is 1 higher than normal on Hellknight plate, which is useful because that's going to give us more resistance against stuff. We also gain a +1 circumstance bonus to intimidation checks while wearing our Hellknight plate. So I guess it's good we didn't take that one about intimidating with strength, because our Hellknight plate's going to cover it for us. So we also probably want to have like a +1 circ, because we're always going to be wearing a Hellknight plate. That's pretty cool. I'm liking that. So just to remind everyone what armor specialization does, because it's so hard to get armor specialization that, like, I'm not super familiar with it. I know Linda's Fighter has it in my War for the Crown game. All right, here's what we've got. So we're going to be moving to Hellknight plate. That means, we're okay. We're going to be retraining that slashing to piercing, because we're gonna get a bunch of resistance to slashing damage.
My scythe fear.
What? Oh, although I guess the amount we get is less than the amount we have from these feats, but still, we might as well, since we're about to get slashing resistance of 3. So we might as well take piercing resistance or bludgeoning resistance.
Might as well get the players at least.
So it's mental and piercing 4, slashing 3. That's a lot of resistances. So if you don't use bludgeoning against this fungus, like, you resisted a bunch. Also, the slashing 3 is going to go up by 1 every time you enchant the armor more. I have assumed that it is a +1 Hellknight plate. At this point. And the piercing and mental will go up if you take more Hellknight feats. So that's pretty cool. All right. We would later be able to take Sense Chaos, Blade of Law, and the Hell's Armaments feats. Although, let me see about this. The Hell's Armament feat we don't need because we have really, really good proficiencies, but that sort of lets us keep up on all our Hellknight weapons and armors if we were actually somehow a rogue who got into the Hellknight class. And Blade of Law lets us do like ridiculous big 2-action attack against chaotic creatures, and sense chaos is like, I feel something chaotic.
I feel your chaos as I smoke you.
Plus, the order training feat may only be like 10 words, but it's deceptively much because of the fact that every single order has its own special abilities that we can gain. So we'll join an order. We should be a member of a certain order, even though we don't get the abilities yet, and we can figure it out. I actually will let chat pick that really fast while I fill in numbers. So the Order of the Chain hunts down and captures criminals. And the Order of the Gate are mostly more spellcastery. They try to check out weird gates and fiendish creatures. The God Claw basically are weird pantheistic worshippers of a combination of a bunch of lawful deities who punish criminals with a zeal rarely matched. The Order of the Nail sees civilized society as an ideal, and they sort of go against wild beasts and other uncivilized sorts. The Order of the Pyre wants to eliminate faiths and beliefs they consider to be a threat, which basically means, is it chaotic? The Order of the Rack tries to eliminate wastefulness, such as pointless dreams, rebellions, dangerous inventions, and wrong information, so that they are sometimes rewriting history. The wrong information is the one they don't think is official. Order of the Scourge hunt those who pervert the law for their own selfish ends, such as like corrupt government officials.
And to answer Herald Wizard, is Gonklon still around? Yes.
They are. And then there's minor ones that we're not going to pick.
Yeah. So chat, from what we just listed there.
While they're doing that, I'm going to start doing the numbers. So Peyton, if you can check what they want, I will start doing those numbers.
Sure can. So you're going to see a lot of things he's doing and everything else. So we're seeing Scourge, Spike, Godclaw, Order of the Chain, etc., etc. So unfortunately, as much as I would like to put a poll up here to kind of do so, it's kind of on the fly, and our position here is kind of that thing. So I do apologize there, chat. But let's see here, Godclaw. I've been saying a string of Godclaws in Gate Racknail. I've mostly been seeing Godclaw kind of poke out at me, but I'm trying to check in here. Some Order of the Torrents, some of the Nails. Some people have been mentioning Pikes. I think Godclaw might be our decision here, Mark.
Godclaw. Okay. Well, Abadar is part of the pantheon known as the Godclaw. So
it's quite fitting.
So, yep. So we are from the Order of the Godclaw. We can put that in our affiliations or something down here.
Yeah. Sorry, the captures make it a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, that's no problem. So where is it? Is that likes and dislikes? Here we go. Organizations. Hellknight of the Godclaw.
Also, chat, if anybody has any interesting drawings or anything for a character sketch, I'd be more than happy to try to include it in here.
Hellknight, that'd be awesome.
So if any of you actually want us to put it on here, it's a lot of computers going overtime.
All right, so this is proficiency of ink.
So if you go on social media and do @official Paizo and give us permission to use your artwork onto the PDF here, because we're going to be putting it out on the latest blog once we clean this up, everything next week, and all that fun stuff, we will be more than happy to have some of your artwork on there. Just give us permission on the tweet and everything else, and we'll even probably slot it in here for a Hellknight Leshy, who is a fungus Leshy, who is just mad as hell.
Yeah, like the shark. The shark from
that fan art was so amazing. It was awesome.
It was awesome.
When I saw that come into the feed, I was like, oh, it's so amazing looking. Like, considering the fact that person was able to paint that during that entire time for 3-action combat was amazing.
Incredible. Now we are down to 20-foot move because of our heavier armor. So we
add coin. PDF is lagging. Fine.
It's not broken. It's just lagging. All right. So the proficiency, we are now expert in all of our weapons. So it's going to be 10. So this is, I'm going to say we got a +1 striking longsword by now because we're level 6.
Was it the Mako pig shared anywhere? I believe it was, I think we retweeted it, I think, on our Twitter feed. So if you kind of go into our replies and all that stuff, you might be able to find it.
Probably. Let's do a +1 striking longsword. I won't worry about like runes or anything right now.
We can probably optimize a little bit more later in the week if we during lunch or something.
+4 14 to hit, and
You did it. That was amazing. Like,
yeah, that was awesome, Sheppy. All right, and then we're an expert in javelins. We're still not very good at dexterity though, so it's only a +11. And oh right, no, 14 is not even right because I have a +1 weapon now, so it's 15.
I know one of the things I definitely want to do when we keep doing some of these live streams, for any fan art and stuff like that, I definitely want to showcase them more.
Yeah, that'd be pretty rad.
Would you guys like to see that, chat? Maybe some showcase of amazing community art, because we have some talented artists, like in just the RPG community in general. I would definitely like to show them off and everything. That's how awesome they
Let's see
are.
what we've got. I think I mean I didn't correctly list what items I was buying, but I have told everyone in chat what I was buying. So I think we did this, but let's do two last things with a caveat before we do, which is that obviously this content from Lost Omens Characters Guide is not sanctioned for Pathfinder Society organized play. And even when the book comes out, some of these options might be things you buy with achievement points or through other means. But we can really quickly make the choices we would make if this was hypothetically going to be patented and this was going to be your character for Pathfinder Society. So if we're going to do that, I would say probably that you were the swords school of the Pathfinder Society, because they're more about martial combat. So sword school for Pathfinder Society, and let's see, maybe you be a member of the Vigilant Seal, protect, contain, destroy dangerous things. Because of being a member of the Order of the Godclaw, I think that makes sense.
Definitely.
And that's a faction in the Pathfinder Society. So I'm gonna say this is a sword school Vigilant Seal character in theory. And it looks like they said swords up there also, so they like that too. And I think Vigilant Seal is a good fit. So we made it. We didn't make it in
basically
time.
Just those two things we just add in.
That's
it's now
it.
ready for society.
Boom. I mean, other than that, it's not sanctioned yet.
Yeah, no, it's not sanctioned.
A bunch of illegal options.
But
if you want to
follow
be,
this for
if
that.
you want to be not a Leshy and not a Hellknight, the only things we had to actually do are those. Are those two things.
Thank you for clarifying me, because I didn't want anyone to get misunderstand. Basically, those two options is what you do when you're making your character to make it ready for Pathfinder Society if what you did was legal for the rest of the process.
Because I've seen a lot of people ask me, and they're like, does it take a lot of effort? Do I have to read a really long thing and figure out all this stuff to make a character for Pathfinder Society? And the answer is no. Just pick a school, and if you don't want to pick one, you can just say, I was field commissioned, I didn't train in the school. And then pick a faction. You do kind of have to look at what those are, but I happen to know Vigilant Seal was a good pick, and you're done. That's it.
And for any legal stuff and everything else about all these ancestry stuff, just stay tuned for any more information of your Pathfinder Society representative and everything else.
So I'm sure we missed something, but considering how quickly we leveled up to 6, I think that getting even that close was pretty good. And
I won't save it right now because I'll save this later and everything just to make sure. But along with that, I think we're majority done, aren't we?
Pretty much. And just so you guys know, since you did pick Order of the Godclaw and I didn't give you a Godclaw thing yet, what Peyton's going to get at level 8, assuming he takes the Godclaw feat at level 8 as his feat, is that his dedication to the Godclaw borders on a cleric's. He automatically gains the cleric's domain initiate feat. In addition, he can use
hit points.
The religious symbol of Abadar Asmodeus, Iomade Aurori, or Torag as a divine focus. So he might not need to take that ability because of the fact that domain initiate is something that a champion can get more easily, but he still could. And that would have been very interesting also if our first feat was the champion feat to get a deity's domain, because it would have let us have 2 domains. We could go back and change that from range reprisal. And your greater benefit, which you're not going to get until a little bit higher level, that would be level 12. Blessing of the 5. Once per day, 3 actions. It's a 3-action heal. It's heightened to 1 level lower than the maximum that you could have cast if you were a cleric. Select up to 4 creatures in the area to remain unaffected, so that you don't heal your enemies. And you can, instead of any of those things, bring someone who died back to life if they died in last round.
Nice.
So those are the abilities you would get from Order of the Godclaw. If you had picked, say, Order of the Scourge, you would have fear no law, fear no one, reduce all the frightened condition when it comes into you by 1, which could have been cool, and seek injustice. And there's all sorts of options depending on every order. Every major order has options. And you can do cross training with other orders if you're like, I want the lesser power of this
Yeah.
order and the powers from my main order. So there's all sorts of cool Hellknight benefits, and all 4 of the organizations we didn't pick have amazing options that, like, for instance, the Pathfinder Society, you know how we picked the School of Swords? There's a Sword Master archetype that's set in there that says, I'm a master of the School of Swords. What awesome stuff do I get?
Yeah, and you start getting more and more bonuses and feats from there. One thing to fix, let's kind of go over, like, just a little bit. One thing we needed to fix is the HP.
Oh, yeah, I never
mentioned
changed the HP back. So
yeah, it was 20 before.
So you have 8 for being a Leshy.
Yep.
Okay. So in addition to that, you have 3 plus 1 from toughness is 4 plus 10 from champion is 14 per level. 14 times 6 is 84. So we have 92 total hit points.
Nice. All right, there we go. And just go over at chat. I told you guys to pick a name for it. So chat, what name did you want for it? Just say a bunch of names that you really want to name this Leshy, and I'll just pick one randomly from chat.
While they're doing that, let me see what level.
And also what gender it would be. I think majority of people kind of picked female last time I saw.
Okay. So. Female makes sense. Let me...
Ambrosia? God is Death Cap, Razor Leaf.
While you guys are doing this, I'm also, because it's only a 4th level item, I'm going to upgrade us up to a minor sturdy shield for our shield ally. Because let's take care of our shield ally.
Ambrosia Deathcap. I like that name. Do you like that name?
Ambrosia Deathcap? That's actually pretty awesome. Let's do Ambrosia Deathcap. Probably turns into a Deathcap mushroom with that ritual conversion ability. And Ambrosia Deathcap. And we've got our gender and pronouns are somewhere. So that would be
I think female.
Yeah, that would
one
be female,
time.
she, her. Female, she, her. All right. There we go. We did it. And this is a pretty tanky Leshy.
Hold up, I'm adding. What am I saying?
Appearance awesome.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh, and also...
Oh, yeah, we can put the picture in the sketch area. Insert your art here.
And basically what I want you guys to do is go basically that at official Paizo. There we go. It's kind of hard to look at this angle.
Yep.
But basically, do at official Paizo pretty much for the Twitter and everything else. And if you want us to use any of your character art to put inside of there, just say, hey, we have permission to use this in for the PDF and everything else to distribute it onto our website and stuff. And we'd love to have it. I'm definitely want to basically... What I would like to do is basically put your name, basically like your Twitter handle, whatever else like that, right down there. So, you want to be a stick figure? Hey,
Twitter handle reminds me, because I always forget to talk about this, but so you can check me out at my Twitter handle, which is just my name together, and it might be on the nameplate. And
there you go.
Also, on my Twitch channel, Arcane Mark, which is just twitch.tv/ArcaneMark, all one word. We'll have a show tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific.
And one of the things as well, chat, like, I'm so sorry we went over time and everything else, and I'm sorry to take up your time and everything else. But I hope chat had fun.
I knew we were going to go over time just based on the amount of excitement we had talking about the options at the beginning. I was like, well, that took more than our projected time. Yeah, and so I knew it was going to happen.
Because I actually really want to learn more, because even I haven't been able to see that, because you're like the only one with a copy right now.
It's just like me, Eleanor, Luis, and maybe some really head honchos.
And I'm super excited
like
for it.
4 or 5.
I'm super excited for it. I'm glad we get to look at the Hellknight, because that was actually a character I was thinking of making. And that really helped teach me how to make it. So if any of my players in the future have any questions with the Hellknight, at least you'll be able to show me also how the character sheet works.
Howard Wizard says #Mark likes going over.
So Chad, I hope you had...
Gotta get back to the Game Mastery Guide. I can't go too over.
Like, I hope you guys had an absolutely lovely time today. And I think... just for you guys sticking around so much, I think we'll just add the rest of this Fumbus coins to the pot and everything else. And I'm going to go ahead and run
6 Fumbus coins is really nice. That's enough to maybe not for a whole group give all their coins as Fumbus coins, but it depends on how quickly they spend them, I guess. And
so I opened up the giveaway. You need to do ! Pathfinder 2E to kind of enter inside. We're going to let it run for a couple minutes, and basically from there, on how our giveaways usually work here is that once we get you through the system here and you get picked, I'm going to send you a whisper and everything on Twitch. So make sure your whispers are enabled. We're also only going to be shipping to North America, UK, Europe, Central America, and stuff like that, and also up to Canada. I do believe we're also doing so basically North America.
So if you win these 6 Fungus coins, you're going to be like one of the only groups in the world that can do all of their coins with Fungus coins. Like, even Linda and I, between the two of us as Paizo staff members, only I think have at most 4. You're going to have 6.
You cannot buy these Fungus coins. So
they aren't anymore. The amount that was made is the amount that exists.
And once we deplete out of them,
there's other really cool things you can get on the flip side of the coin on the other side from the P, just not the fungus ones.
Yeah. So these are only exclusive here, and we're slowly but surely running out of them. Like, I am continuously going to Glenn's box every so often, just going, and I'm going to take these things for chat. And
6 is a noticeable percentage, maybe not like a huge percentage because there's a fair number, but it's a noticeable percentage of all the remaining Fungus coins.
So I think we're gonna go ahead and stop the giveaway here in a second. So
all right,
everything else, and also chat once more. Sorry that we couldn't do a Q&A today and everything else. But remember, on the forums, I did make a thread about this very stream. I'm so glad everyone will be able to come over and help make a.
Thanks for joining us here. Leshy Hellknight was on that thread, so I think some of the people have come in, and it just shows because Peyton always warns us. It's like, you guys talk fast. You're not necessarily going to take as long as you thought that you're going to take. We definitely took a long time.
I was wrong. I was highly incorrect because I know how fast we did it for through action game night. And it was like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. The difference was explaining all those options out really.
Yeah, that usually takes some time.
Really in depth, and then just interacting and picking from 3 different books.
And of course, chat, give us some feedback by the way on the forums to see if you even liked this type of thing with like the screen and everything else.
Yeah, what did you think about the setup? What did you think about
Did
this?
it help inform you? Give us some feedback.
Do you feel like you know more about the Hellknights and the Leshys?
All right, we're going to close the giveaway, and now we're going to pick a winner.
Who won?
And Water Sleeth, you have won all these Fungus coins inside the glass and everything else. So I'll send you a whisper soon. No.
Oh, yeah, Water Sleeth
won last time.
That's true.
It was a joke. Okay, let's go pick another winner then. And pick winner. And Farron 33. There we go.
Wow.
So Farron 33. I don't think Farron won.
I don't think so.
Well, so from there,
Water's Leaf is just using the water from the River Leaf to make us forget that they won last time.
But one thing I want to say though, I want to say thank you, Water Sleeve, for actually being an awesome human being and basically going no, let someone else have some of it and everything else. That's legitimately an awesome thing to do. So thank you to that person, and also congratulations to our new winner and everything else. Let's go ahead and say some stuff in chat. I think I see you here, in which I'm going to be sure I click on you there. So I'm going to be sending you a whisper soon after the stream's over. After I kind of move some stuff around, I'll basically send you a message, get you your Fungus coins, and all that other stuff. So with that, I want to say thank you, Mark. We're going to go ahead and try to clean this up and everything else next week or so. Just kind of get it nice for me. I'll try my best to do some of the work.
Yeah, if you can do that, then that'd be good.
And you are busy, way too busy and everything else. I'll try my best to try to work on this myself. And with that, Mark, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for making characters with us.
Thanks for running everything, Peyton. It's really hard to do something with all these moving parts, and it actually didn't fail. You had to just arbitrarily give them.
All of a sudden, it's Epic hit one to turn on off. I'm like, what's going on? But yeah. Anyway, love you all very, very much. Thank you so much, Mark, in chat and everything else. Thank you all also, by the way, for a lot of the warm welcomes, everything, for the new role and everything. I've been actually having a lot of fun. I'm learning a lot at the same time. Playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition, trying to get some Starfinder on so I can help better show these.
Are you going to actually play a Leshy Hellknight, or are you waiting to play an Orc Hellknight, even if it has to be until August?
I'll wait till August if I can get an Orc, because I really want to play an Orc. But I will definitely play this. If I ever get time to go to some of our society games here in Seattle and stuff, I want to see if they'll let me use it. Seems like I have a Leshy, but I'll make a new character.
Yeah, you might not have enough achievement points yet for that. You might have to see
that's a whole thing.
If running these streams counts for some achievement points from.
And it's like, society is amazing. Just go there, give me all your points. No. Anyway,
if you do Society Tuesdays, then that's worth the achievement points.
So with that, let's go and end it so you can get back to work, and so we can get back to our stuff. So chat, thank you all so much and everything else. hopefully we can do some of this stuff better in the future. And thank you all so much for coming. And we
Bye,
will see
everyone.
You all next time.
It was great to see you.